Hey, we back. Now I make hits every single day with that nigga, that Diggy Dr. Dre. Yeah, that works. What's
What's up, man?
up? Miggity mic check. Miggity mic check 1 2. You hear me? I hear you. Does that sound good, my
I hear
dude?
you. You hear me?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? You fucking bitch.
Ah,
1 second.
how's everyone doing today? I'm good.
What is up, my dude? Let me turn you up real quick so I can know the vibes.
Turn me up.
Okay, we good. We good.
Cool.
You're up. Alright. My dude, how you been?
Good, dude. Just ate some enchiladas that I made for dinner. Nice and
Fuck
full.
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's real
Yeah,
out here.
well, we'll check this. What if I told you I made the best fucking chili you or your mother would ever have in your life? Or your mother's life?
I'm
You
talking
believe
about my
that?
mother. I'm talking about my mother.
What if I slow cooked that bitch for like 8 hours?
Crock pot? Slow cooker.
Crock pot, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Alright.
Big old crock pot.
It's the crock
Bruh.
pot moves.
I made that shit like a week ago. It's still smacking on me. I got like 2 more bowls left.
A fat crock. I feel that.
You wouldn't believe it. That's what's up. Well, I was on live just a second ago. I thought maybe you would eventually pop in. You'd be ready, but you was obviously smacking on enchiladas, so that's cool. That's
I was
cool, I
gonna eat,
guess.
but yeah. Work.
This is whatever, dude. It's cool, man.
It's American
Um,
life. You know how it is.
yeah. Dave was in there. Dave's been in there, man. He's out here. He's out here letting us know
Hi.
what's up. Thank you, sir. And we shared a general dissatisfaction with the Grammys, a mutual dissatisfaction with the Grammys, a mutual dissatisfaction with.
I didn't even watch it.
Um, Neither did I, man. And here was my point. I'm like, every year, I'm like, fuck the Grammys. We never care about the Grammys, but I'm always like talking about the Grammys, like fuck the Grammys, you know.
Word.
But that's whatever. I already went on my
I
spiel.
I know the gist. The Cardi B won something. Hip the album of the year.
Cardi B did win something. Yeah, she did. She won Best Rap Album. Cardi B won Best Rap Album. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, Cardi B is not real rap." You know how people are.
It's a Grammys.
Cardi B's Mac Miller should have Nipsey Hussle. You know,
Shut up. Nipsey Hussle never gonna win album of the year. Y'all tripping.
bro. They just put
Even
him
if it
in
is
there
album
for
of the
like.
year, it's not gonna win album of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Even if it was like,
Or give it to Post
they just
Malone.
put that. Yeah, I feel like they just put that in there just to like,
Right.
just to make the list seem kind of tight.
Yeah.
Like we got Nipsey Hussle. Like we got our ear to the streets. Okay. So yeah, fuck the Grammys for sure. For those who don't know, for those who are watching this later, for those who are watching this now, here's the dealio, y'all. I was gonna make a video. I had a video like all the way done. We were rolling. I was gonna talk about some new albums that I hope come in 2019. Some albums that I think are coming in 2019. Some albums that are like on my wish list for 2019, or artists that are on that wish list for 2019. If you're in there, feel free to drop an album that you want dropping in 2019, or someone that you think is dropping in 2019. Like I don't know, maybe a sequel to fucking Pinata. How about that? That could drop in 2019.
That
We'll sure get there.
That drops in 2019 every other year after 2019 is canceled. I don't even
Well, let me ask you this. Is 2019 going to be crazy? Is 2019 going to be crazy compared to 2018.
2018 was like,
Hi, Mom.
in my opinion, hey mom, probably was actually, but
Yeah. Okay, keep
but
going.
20. I thought 2018 was a great, even if it wasn't all shit that I loved, it was so much shit that like there was something in there for everybody. That like just a gem for everybody. So
Word.
I think it was like one of the best years in a long time.
Did you have any like? Were there any like perfect albums, near perfect albums, anything like up there?
Perfect. Like I honestly think Negro Swan was probably perfect. Like it was the exact album I needed last year.
Yeah.
And then
Okay. Yeah.
I thought Pieces of a Man and Dirty Computer were pretty fucking close, if not perfect.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I thought like, especially because of how short it was, I thought like Kids See Ghosts was kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Just because it just like it limited the amount of time to make mistakes. So the fact that they nailed everything, in that short amount of time,
Word.
I thought that went over really well. That put it up really high for me. Yeah, I did think Dirty Computer was like kind of perfect, but that's just because I think Janelle Monáe is kind of perfect. So okay, I can respect that. I mean, there was like a lot of shit that just dropped. There was a lot of shit that dropped, and there was a lot of things that were just of pretty good quality or high quality.
Right.
I didn't have my mind blown like more than once or twice over the course of the year, but like as far as a clip of quality, that was all really, really good. So yeah, we're off on a tangent. And we're back on this. We're doing a future best albums of 2019. What we think is coming out, what we hope is coming out. There's even going to be some artists in here that we'll talk about more in the sense of maybe a 2020 release would be good for them. And yeah, we're just going to run through this idea I had for a video that never actually happened. I scrapped it, didn't like it, and get my buddy Trent on here to just chime in with me. Who's kind of looking like Tori Moi with these glasses and this hat and this pencil stash, this shady mustache.
Shady stash.
So at the top of the list, what's the most important thing that we probably know is coming and that we need to what's going to be the most important thing happening in 2019 in terms of albums? Who's going to be the coolest drops of 2019?
TDE stuff and Dreamville stuff, I would say. I don't know what you're thinking, but
TDE stuff and Dreamville stuff. You're goddamn right.
Okay.
As far as my count is concerned, Schoolboy, SZA, Absol, Isaiah Rashad, Sir dropped last year, didn't he?
Dropped last year. Beginning of the year, though, so maybe a late.
Earlier in the year? Yeah, so, okay.
Like,
so he could be in line.
Or something like that, so.
Okay. And then Kendrick dropped Damn in 2017. So, yeah, mostly everyone has, I mean, they pretty much just didn't drop in 2018. Like, they did Sir, and I don't know that they did a record after Sir for 2018.
J-Rock was the only other one.
J-Rock, yes, also a Grammy nominee. Yeah. Go J-Rock. And you like that album.
I love that album.
You fucked with that album.
I love it.
Yeah, I like that album too. I had a day where I really didn't like it, and then another day where I really liked it, and then somewhere over time I just fell in between those two. It's a respectable album for sure. So, I mean, are they gonna like? I would imagine if they could drop 3 of those, that they would kind of dominate 2019.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay. I think like Shoe-Ins like definitely dropping 2019. Schoolboy. I think Schoolboy is well, SZA's the one that'll probably push the most. I don't know if she'll actually get around to dropping anything though. But I think Schoolboy and Isaiah are like Shoe-Ins.
Okay.
They have to.
I think Schoolboy
or I'll die. Personally.
Yeah. I would also keel over and die. Hey, also, just take a break here. Is it snowing? Is it snowing hella in Portland?
No.
Are you like
everyone thought it was gonna, and it never did. So now,
Bro, we like packed in up here, Seattle, where if doesn't people don't know where I am, we are packed the fuck in.
really, like currently?
Yes. Like it snowed all day today, and it snowed like the last couple, the last like 2, 3 days in a row, like a lot.
Yeah, no.
I haven't left the house in like 2 days. I've just been here, fucking making
That's what
videos
people
and
thought
doing
was
this.
gonna happen. There was literally like hour-long lines at Fred Meyer because people thought that they were gonna fucking like never get out of their house again, and it snowed for like 4 hours, and it's been raining since.
Northwest people literally don't know how to deal with snow. I work at a grocery store, and people were in there like it was the fucking zombie apocalypse
I
was
know.
going down,
I thought
stealing
that
all the
was
gluten-free bread, all the fucking vegan patties, all the tofu. Everybody was in there just like going nuts.
Shout out Griffin and Sax.
Yeah, Sax called us dinguses and Griffin.
Oh.
You guys are in the same room, chilling, watching us on 2 different devices. You guys are great.
Shout out Revolt.
Anyways, yeah, I think TDE, if they drop like 3 projects even, my guess would be yes, Schoolboy and Zaywap definitely being the 2. I would guess SZA's going to drop this year too. Like, she doesn't have to, but I think that she will. I mean, she's already started to like tease some music and like recording and shit like that. So I think if she dropped, that would be big for them. But if she dropped, I feel like they would clear out some space for her too, because she does numbers for that record label.
That's what I'm saying. They'll probably push it. I mean, it's beneficial for everybody if SZA drops some shit. Listeners.
So I think the likelihood is you would get more TDE albums in the year if SZA didn't drop. Like you could get 4. Damn, you got the whole family in here, man. We having a family function in here. I love you guys. Yeah, I think you would see more TDE albums on the span of 2019 if Kendrick and SZA didn't drop, because those 2 just kind of need space to like, promote them and sort of do them justice, and like it's a big undertaking, and that's what kind of makes me think maybe those 2 wouldn't drop, because it would just make sense to get like Schoolboy, Zaywap, Zachary, Solo back out there.
Yeah.
And,
by the way, percent chance, put a number on it. Is Absol gonna drop anything?
69%.
All right.
I don't know. I don't know, man. He goes like really long stretches without saying much, so it's kind of hard to like follow him. But I mean, his album dropped 2017 too, actually, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, he's definitely like ready for it. I would imagine. I would imagine he has music ready to go. I would imagine.
Right. I always hope for Absol music, but I never expect it. I never anticipate him dropping anything, because if I do, I'm probably going to be disappointed.
Yeah, I think we get caught up in like TDE is a really cool, really sexy label, and so we kind of just think like they don't do a lot of the same shit that other record labels do, but they do, and I think they just do it cooler, and they have cooler people in charge and cooler people to sort of flagstaff their label with. But I think everybody works on a pretty hardcore schedule there. People have been wanting a Schoolboy album for a while now. He's been in the mix for a while now, and like we still haven't got that. So, I mean, for a lot of these guys, they probably need a single to run with. They probably need like a track list of more than 20 songs or something like that to whittle down to an official track list. I just think they have to jump through a lot of the same hoops, and they also are pretty particular about like, okay, we want to put our artists in quarters or halves of the year. We kind of want to run them on a cycle, whatnot. So, yeah, my guess is I think there's like a 60% chance we could get like substantial Absol music.
Okay.
So like some songs.
That's fair.
Now before we jump to the other record label, being Dreamville. Before we jump to those guys, Trent, why is Chance the Rapper tweeting July? Why is he tweeting July? I want to know. What do you think?
Did he tweet something? I haven't been paying attention to Chance the Rapper in a minute.
Yeah, I'm just, scrolling on Twitter, and I just see, Chance the Rapper just July, just tweet July.
Uh, it might be a target date for something, but I
Hmm.
don't know if that's an
Hmm. I
actual
wonder what
date.
that something could be. Hmm. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was prepared to get like no Chance the Rapper music this year, but I'm pretty sure I was also scrolling through Instagram and there's a video up. I think he said he was gonna. There's an album coming in July, tentatively, I'm sure.
What I found with
So
Chance, is the more that it's kind of a weird pattern, but you can go in and look at it. The more that his, like sponsorships and marketing start to surface, he tends to put out music right around those times. Like
yeah, for sure.
right
Yeah.
when the whole what was the candy bar that he did? Kit Kat, I think it was. Right when his whole Kit Kat campaign went on, that was like a month before he dropped the Christmas tape with Jeremiah.
Oh, with Jeremiah, yeah.
Yeah, it was like kind of just a weird like every time that he does some marketing campaign, he drops music right then too.
Oh, he
So
knows.
he just did that whack ass commercial with Backstreet Boys or whatever, NSYNC. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Whack,
don't know.
dude,
Maybe
that
that's
shit was
actually the
tight.
case.
What are you talking about?
I mean, it was tight, but in the wackest way possible.
Yeah, whatever, you're ugly. Yeah, so I think that's coming. I think that's on the way.
Could be.
Dreamville, Revenge of the Dreamers 3, so like their big, like their big
Yeah.
fucking like label album that they're gonna do. The
Awesome.
other ones have been pretty cool, but obviously like in January they had like that huge promotional run of yo, everybody's in the studio. Everybody's here. Everybody you listen to, every producer you've never heard of, like they're in here, like producing beats, and we're rapping over beats. Like they just did that for like 2 weeks
Right.
straight, probably. They're just at rap camp, all hanging out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Instagram for those few weeks. So this to me is probably the most exciting thing potentially happening this year. For me personally, I would argue it against TDE for the sense of all this, it wasn't just like Dreamville people in that studio. Like it was tons and tons and tons and tons of people, including TDE people even. So,
Hype people
like,
too, just like people you want music from anyway. Like
yeah, and a bunch of really cool, yeah, like really cool acts, really good rappers, really talented people, like all there, and it seemed like there wasn't a lot of ego going on. Everybody was just happy to like be there and make as much as they can and sort of just like enjoy the chaos of it all or whatever. So in my honest opinion, I think, yeah, I'm a little bit more excited for the Dreamville stuff than the TDE stuff at this juncture because, man, I don't know what is coming out of like these recording sessions because, like I said, so many people there, it's like anybody could be working with anybody.
Right.
We've already seen a couple of these tracks come to fruition. So Buddy, Compton rapper Buddy, did that. He did the Harlan and Alondra album. Dropped a deluxe edition of the album today, and the song that I ran on New Music Monday for it was him, Jid, Ari Lennox, Guapdad 4000 or whatever that guy's name is. All those people that were there, and some other guy who I wasn't familiar with. So like we're already starting to see that stuff come out, and because of those recording sessions, I think it's not just Revenge of the Dreamer 3. I also think it's like this Earth Gang album is probably done, and because they just dropped a new single. Ari Lennox's album is probably done now after those recording sessions.
Yeah, there's like it's kind of like there's a lot of like tangential stuff that's like gonna be completed because of those recording sessions. Like some shit that might not make it on like, not that it's not good enough to make it on the Revenge of the Dreamers, but it's just like it's better served on a project elsewhere. Like it might be the jigsaw puzzle piece in like the Earth Gang album or something like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's like you could come up with a single there. The chemistry there seemed really great. Again, like I'm ready to see like for the next couple years. I would imagine there's going to be music coming from like directly from those recording sessions. Right. 2 weeks, man. Like over 100 people just like throwing down day to day. Like that's crazy. So yeah, any one of those people might drop, and then we'll get this. We'll get this Revenge of the Dreamers album. That'll be a big deal. Like I said, Earth Gang's album, Mirrorland, Ari Lennox's album. I don't think has a title yet. But once those are out of the way, I mean, Jid sounds like he's ready to just like slaughter some rappers. Did
you see that video clip of his concert at that college where the like?
Oh, where they cracked the floor. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's awesome, man.
Movie. It was crazy.
Okay, dude, Jid's got it lit. JID keeps it lit. I gotta go to a JID show. I've never been. I'm kind of sad about that now. So, yeah, I think, like, you tell me, man, if you had to pick one, TDE albums or the Dreamville albums, what do you think we'll see more of? What do you think is more exciting for you personally? I know that Isaiah record is gonna pull a lot of weight.
That's like the thing I need this year. Like, obviously, the Revenge of the Dreamers is like more exciting right now because I know it's like coming. Like, I know not the scope of what's in it, but just like the fact that it's something real. Like, Isaiah hasn't even put out a single. Like, I don't know necessarily what it could be or if it's gonna happen. He's such a weird recluse that like shit might not even. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But it's the thing I need the most, so I don't know. I'm probably more excited for TDE, but more like hyped right now for anything Dreamville.
Yeah, I think the bigger impact releases could come from TDE.
Right.
In terms of just like a Schoolboy album would be pretty crazy right now. I think like a SZA album, if that were to happen, or a ZWAP album, like those would all be really crazy releases to me personally right now. So yeah, let me run you down another few albums that I think should drop. Like they have been talked about, or they have titles, or a release date or something. Kanye West's Yandhi is probably maybe gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck's up with that guy. When he drops music, I'll pay attention.
Right.
Drop the album. I'll pay attention for like the week, and then we'll see where things go from there. Injury Reserve. Do you like Injury Reserve?
Love Injury. Yeah. Definitely.
Okay, yeah, me too. They're a great fucking group, man. They just signed a record deal, and I don't remember where they signed that deal to. But so this is going to be their like debut album that they're coming with. And they just dropped that dope new single.
Single was dope.
With the music video. I can't remember the name of the song actually right now, but the music video with the fashion show and shit, that was cool.
Yeah.
So those guys, we mentioned Freddie Gibbs and Madlib earlier, which is like probably the most important release for me this year. Yeah, I think I need Bandana like more than anything. Okay, let me ask you this. Oh, and real quick, Run the Jewels album. I'm hoping for Run the Jewels album.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
I say that's likely. Real likely.
I say it's likely too because Killer Mike has been doing some really cool shit, and I feel like he could just continue. I feel like it would behoove him to just like keep riding this wave he's on right now because he's kind of killing it. He's kind of killing it. The show.
Rarely not killing it, but right now he's definitely like killing it in the eyes of like everybody. Like. Yeah. Even if you don't give a shit about Killer Mike, like, you've heard about everything he's doing lately from somebody.
I fuck with Killer Mike. I fuck with Killer Mike for sure. So let me ask you this, dude. Do you think we're getting a Little Uzi Vert album this year?
Oh, I don't know. No. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, I think the answer is yes. I think the answer is dead ass yes.
I know he's not done with music. That was just a ploy to get people like, don't leave music. It's that little emo trap kids shit where you like need people to like want you to put out music. Like,
yeah, okay. Yeah, the fans gotta earn the music, I guess.
This year though, dude, it took him a minute to put out EXO, and like I don't know.
Yeah, he did EXO, and then like a long time after EXO came out,
the
album came out. Yeah, his label situation sucks, and I know that's the reason why this is happening. And I also feel the same way that I think like okay, I think this just seems like more of a ploy or like
Right.
a leverage move against his record label. Like, I'm just not gonna. I think from their perspective, what he's saying to them is like, even because I don't think Lil Uzi Vert actually like has his own music. Like that's kind of the point of being in a shitty record deal, is
Right.
that they own everything. They own everything, and you don't make you like you're spending years and years trying to recoup your original deal and make them money back before you even really are making money for yourself and your people. But I think where he's trying to leverage this is more like, well, even if this music comes out, I'm not going to support it. Like I'm not going to, I'm not going to tour. I'm not going to do this and that to like pump the album up and things like that. I could be wrong, but like there's something more to it. I really don't think he's retiring or like even close to
No.
doing something like that.
No.
No. But yeah, I think
though,
that.
What do you anticipate the quality, if he does put out a project, what do you think the quality of that project will be? You think it'll actually be a good album?
Well, therein lies the exact problem I have with like this era of Lil Uzi Vert. Like I think Lil Uzi Vert makes a lot of music. Like I think like a Young Thug or people like them, like I think he makes a lot of music like every day. I think he makes music like that much. To really like buckle him down for an entire album release is kind of a tough task, which is why I think like Love is Rage 2 wasn't like, it has a lot of really great material on it, or it has a few really great pieces to it. It really suffers from just like too much fluff, too much material in there that I don't care for. I think it's easier to get a good project out of Lil Uzi Vert, letting him do projects like 3 in a year.
Yeah.
So that's where I think like even before we like really get started, like he's just not really in the space to like release music effectively, I think, based on the way he makes music. Again, I could be wrong there, but like that's kind of what it seems like from the common consumer standpoint. So I think the album is coming this year. I think it's happening relatively soon. You're saying maybe, but we both agree he's not retired.
Not retired, no.
Lil Uzi Vert's not retired. Okay, word.
Oh,
well, then let me ask you this. What do you think about a potential Ray Sremmurd album in 2019? Is it happening?
I don't know. Hasn't there been some weird...
Is Strem 4 happening?
Hasn't there
What'd you
been
say?
weird tension between them?
And that brings me to an even better point. Look at you, Trent. You're killing it. Well, let me tell you this, man. This is a personal, like, this is like my own personal, like, deal I got going. Or my conspiracy theory that I got going. And so I think Ray Sremmurd is, like, finessing us for, like, promo. Yeah, big hip-hop fans, dude. Every day I listen to that shit.
I don't know about that. What's that?
I mean, I like it, but I just brought him on because he's cute. Anyways, here's what I think. Yeah. Okay. Slim Jimmy wants out. No. Yeah, Slim Jimmy's tweeting crazy.
Yeah.
Because, Sway Lee's like a rock star, and I think he's like kind of low-key leaving him behind. But, they're still making albums together. They still love each other because they're like brothers or whatever the fuck. And, and then he's airing his shit out on Twitter. He's like, man, Stream Life, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
We broke up, blah, blah, blah. Then like 2 days later, everything seems like it's totally fine. And then another day later, Slim Jimmy posts a TBT, a quick hashtag TBT on the gram, him and his brother from like way, way back when they were broke. And in that caption it says, Srem 4, the number 4, life. That's the fucking title of the album, dude. Srem 4,
oh, shit.
life, dude. That's the... Come on, man.
All right.
You sleep. I'm woke.
I can imagine you have a pin board with like a bunch of strings, and it's literally it's actually just one string that goes. Slim Jimmy, string.
There's just one TBT photo in the middle. Yeah.
Right.
And then all these strings, like I'm in The Wire, like picking out suspects, like cross-examining shit. Hot take. Slim Jim is equally as important as Sway Lee is to Ray Sremmurd. Mr. Coates, you are absolutely correct. I think you're correct. You think so?
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. As far as the group is concerned, like as far as the album, because I'll tell you this. Let's look at it like this. If you look at the last album, which was like a 3-part album, which was not what I wanted from a group like Ray Sremmurd.
Necessary.
Never asked for 28 tracks in my life from Ray Sremmurd. Ever. So they did that. There was the one, the double album, the Srem album as a group, and then they had their individual albums, like, you know.
Right.
The Srem part, to me, was the best part. The Slim Jimmy part wasn't the best, but it had some bangers on it. The Sway Lee portion of that album was absolutely horrific. It was probably one of the worst pieces of garbage I've heard the entire year. Yeah, I agree. I think he makes like the big hits. I think he can do a good hook every once in a while. Like I do think he is cool in the Ray Sremmurd dynamic, but like Slim Jimmy's energy and like party attitude is like I think what makes Srem Life what Srem Life stands for.
Yeah. Why do you think when Sway Lee is featured on anything, he's only doing hooks? It's just like you can't have an entire thing of just Sway Lee. Like it's not like
like you're not really getting verses from Sway Lee. You'll get like
not on a feature. Definitely not on a feature.
You're not getting like Sway Lee. Like, yeah.
It's just you can't. There's not enough meat there if it's just Sway Lee.
I'm telling you, man, something's going on, man. I'm gonna put that up in my fucking research wire, and we'll get down to the bottom of that. So yeah, that was my conspiracy theory of the day. Man, I've been mulling on that shit for a minit. Like,
good to
Srem, right? Number 4, life, and it's all coming together, man. Like, fuck. So, do you have any other like specific albums? Is there anything I missed? Are there any specific albums that should be on the way? You said Gold Link. You said Gold Link earlier.
Yeah. I mean, he's been saying it. Like, it's not like I didn't have to fucking like put together a conspiracy theory to get there. Like, he literally told me like album. Like, I'm not dev like surfing the internet looking on.
Oh no, I'm in there. I'm on that shit.
Like,
yeah, no, I don't.
It's like here's a single. The album's coming. Like,
yeah, no, I don't have other things.
By the way, did you like it?
Yes, I did a lot. That's a banger. That's like a pre-funk banger. Like I'm getting ready for the funk. Like I'm not even there, but I'm like getting on. I'm getting in my bag.
That's what a single should be, should it not? I feel like sometimes that's what a single should be. It should be. Yeah, it should be the lead up to the fucking album. It shouldn't be the best song that's gonna be on the album. Yeah, there should be, and fuck it, I'm down with going on this tangent for a moment. But there should be better material on the album than like single material. Like there should be one song on the album that I didn't hear before the album came out. That's the best song. I need to listen to the album to get to that song. Like that's what it. Too many artists make their singles the best song on the album.
Especially because sometimes the singles get a little worn out by the time the album actually, happens.
Right.
So then I'm already like looking for that new thing. Sometimes those singles have already worn off, and it's like if I really feel like this single was the best song on the album, like that's kind of tough. That's kind of tough to swallow. I guess it depends on how good the rest of the material is, or how good that single is. Sometimes like singles are just that good, and it's a single for a reason. But it's kind of fucked up when you're hyped for the album, and it's like, damn, I already heard the best of this album so far. That shit is sad. Also, Elliot asked us if anyone I thought got snubbed at the Grammys.
Bro, I didn't. Nipsey Hussle.
We didn't even watch that shit.
I didn't watch the Grammys.
I just complained about it afterwards. I
know that
go ahead.
Cardi B won something, and I know that Drake's microphone got cut off. That's the only two things I know.
Yeah, Drake was talking some real shit, and his microphone got cut off. Again, Grammys conspiring to, limit limit creatives. Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
The only real snub that I can think of at this very moment is, I think it's crazy to me. It is so crazy that Casey Musgraves just wins Album of the Year. And I keep saying this, but
I
like
didn't
in a
know that.
year, okay, in a year where like hip hop and R&B music has like really become the top of the mountain here. This same exact year when this actually happens, um, we get Casey Musgraves best album of all albums according to the Grammys. That's nuts. I think the big snub there is Dirty Computer. It was my album of the year, my number one, and I'm not even saying that from like my own biased perspective, but like, come on, dude. If at the very least I'm comparing those two albums, Dirty Computer blows that white girl shit out of the water. It's like, I even like enjoyed that album, or enjoyed parts of that album. So, yeah, that was confusing to me. But I'm off the Grammys. I don't want to talk about this fucking Grammys. It make me sick. The next section of this is albums, people that I hope make albums in 2019. And at the very top of my list, the most important person that needs to drop, that hasn't said they're going to drop, to me, Rihanna. And to that you say,
I say, please, God, please.
yeah,
With all my heart, please.
I think TDE could have its own piece of 2019, like they're definitely projected to do so. But I think if Rihanna drops, and she drops at the right time, and the release is right, and the album comes out sounding really great, it's definitely going to be partially shared to be Rihanna's year as well. I think she can I think she can dominate an entire year if she really, really wanted to. Yeah. And if we could continue to have a section of the year where women are dominating hip-hop, or a section of releases that just are like really dominant women hip-hop R&B albums, I would like to see a Solange album, and I would like to see another Cardi B album before the end of the year.
I'm with you on, all fronts there. I would actually say, I mean, I want a Rihanna album, like, bad, don't get me wrong, it's good for everybody, Rihanna being out in the world and doing things, like, people care about her. But I've been on, like, such a fucking Solange binge lately that, like, I've listened so many times to all of her music that now I need more Solange really bad.
Yeah.
And so, but I'm with you, like, I really do want just more, like, women R&B and hip-hop, like, albums to just, like, break through like they did last year. Because I had, like, 4 or 5 in my top 10, and that, like...
Yeah, I think I had 2 or 3 myself.
It's just, like, I just need that shit.
Yeah, that Solange record, I got that on vinyl. That's also my really, safe-sounding album to play at work, but also still makes white people feel, like, really bad about themselves if they're really listening to the lyrics. And if they're not, then, like, ignorance is bliss, and you can just kind of enjoy the vibes. So I could use another one of those, is what I'm saying, to, like, throw in the mix so people don't, like, catch on to what I'm doing. But earlier on this list, when I was Solange song suggestions, the first couple that come to my mind off the last album, FUBU, For Us, By Us, that has The Dream on it. That was my favorite off of the last album, along with Mad, featuring Lil Wayne. Probably the best Lil Wayne verse I've heard in years.
I would also
best.
throw in Don't Touch My Hair with Sampha. That's a great song.
Yes.
That's a great song.
If you're a slut for Sampha like I am.
I'm a huge Sampha slut.
Yeah, same. I'll do anything. So, this was on my list earlier when I originally filmed this video, but Vampire Weekend album, I was hoping for it. Boom, we already got 2 singles. So, yay me. Childish Gambino album, yes or no, it's not going to happen. No. Okay, Trent says no. Why do you say no? Because I mostly say yes.
I say no because I genuinely think, well, Okay, I want to give my one caveat to why I think there might be a Childish Gambino album. I commented on one of your posts. Some people read it and liked it because it's true, but
Okay, flex.
he did that weird partnership marketing thing with Adidas that was included in the summer song. I don't remember which song it was, but it was like that animated music video. There was like a second little snippet to that music video in which he's like doing some creative thing for Adidas. And like the only reason why I think that could lead to an album is because I'm like a big person that believes if there's a marketing ploy, then it's probably to promote music in the long run. And
Yes.
Childish Gambino seems like he's very capable of attaining an audience through Adidas. Like I think that's like a totally hand in hand, totally makes sense kind of thing. But other than that, I think he's just like I just threw.
He's got more shit to do.
Him. What's up?
He's got other shit to do.
Yeah, like he's the fucking like Swiss Army knife of entertainment right now. Like he literally does everything, and I don't know if music doesn't seem to be, from what he's posted in the past, the recent past actually, on social media and Twitter, and even some like kind of some shit in some of his songs that he says just about like the music industry as a whole. Like I just don't think music is really what he wants to focus on right now, which is fine because we've seen people be successful in music when not focusing on music, aka Andre 3000, who constantly pops up here and there but isn't actually like in the scene that often and still makes like just bangers every time he does. I think that's Childish Gambino's probably like best path right now. Not that I don't want an album, I just don't think it's gonna happen.
Okay. I could see him getting another one off like this year, and then I could see him like really starting to like, I don't know, just like spread his shit. Even though, I mean, I guess the reason we didn't get any music from him last year, I guess we got This Is America and shit.
Yeah.
But I think beyond that and the couple singles that he dropped, I don't know, man. He had a new season of Atlanta coming out. Like he did solo and had to do that whole press run that year. Like, kind of a busy guy. He also had like the most talked about and most. Actually, if I'm being entirely honest, I think here's another conspiracy theory. I think This Is America may have like backed up any sort of album concept that he had in mind, or like range of time for an album that he had in mind. Like, do you think maybe like the impact of that song, and just the way it took off, maybe like, okay, we gotta give this some more time to breathe, and then, you know, think about an entire album a little bit later, like maybe
kind of, yeah, I mean, I see where that can be.
Like maybe it was originally intended to be a big single, and it turned into just like this whole cultural phenomenon.
Right. Yeah. No. I can see that. Like it might be like a kind of thing where he has to reroute where that concept was going. Like it's kind of hard to follow something up like that with the same like substance in an entire project, because This Is America was like a fucking huge deal. So like an album that follows that in the same vein, like exactly the same like direction, would be really hard to pull off and successfully.
Yeah, I think when I heard This Is America, I went like, okay, I already didn't know how this album was going to sound, and this just like threw me through another loop. Like,
right.
How do you make even 9 more songs like this, or that kind of, I mean, it could definitely be done. It's just like, again, the impact of the song has began to overshadow like the potential it would have to sit in an album like well, right. You know, amongst and play nice with other songs, like in even like a 10-track project or something like that. So yeah, my theory at the moment is like they intended it to be a single or just kind of a loose record to promote music to keep coming out.
Right.
But then it turned into what it was. I think they thought it was going to be big, but not like what it ended up being. And now it just kind of has to stand alone in its own fame, I guess.
One more thing. I
Or,
will say that I don't think he's going to put out another project in the near future. Like within the next, I really don't think there's not going to be a whole project from him in the next few years. But I will say if he does put something out in these next few years, it's more likely to happen this year than any other of the next 5 years. Like, if he doesn't put something out this year, I think that it's probably not coming for, like, 5 years. But if he does put something out this year, then I can eat my words, and I'm an asshole.
Okay. All right, word. That's a great segue into our next topic. Let me get this out of the way. I think Pusha T album and and a Skepta album would be pretty fucking dope to hear this year. Those are the last things I have on my mind. Maybe some sort of J. Cole like mixtape or casual release, I guess is what I want to say. In light of these ROTD 3 sessions, and he's just been on this like, I'm gonna get any beat, I'm gonna slaughter it, I'm gonna do all the trick shit that you guys like because y'all didn't want to buy my album when I just wanted to release the album and not really say much, blah blah blah. So those are the people I got. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else you are like really holding out hope for is going to drop an album this year, whether you know it or not, that they're going to drop one?
Not
Before I move
really.
on.
I'm not hoping for anything necessarily.
Speak now or forever hold your nuts, dude.
Nah, I'm chilling.
All right, cool. All right, so here's how we're going to do this last section. I have a don't drop in 2019 list. A list of artists I'm hoping will not drop an album in 2019, simply. I just think like a 2020 release would be better, or they just, most of the people on this list have a great album in the last year and a half or less. And I disagree with this culture that we always got to be hearing from artists and that we like got these people on like almost like a year-long time frame. These particular artists, I think, have the right and should just wait to release some more music. Just let us simmer on what we have. So here's how we'll do this. How about I give you an album, and in your honest estimation, you tell me when the next project is going to come from this person. What your guess would be? 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, if you think like how long these people would take to drop. Or early, plenty of these people could drop this year even. Number 1 on my list is Kendrick Lamar.
He's gonna.
Do you think we're getting a Kendrick Lamar album this year?
Yeah, we are, and I don't want it.
I think we are too, and I don't fucking want it. I'm like, honestly, if I'm being entirely real, like I'm still tripping off To Pimp a Butterfly. Like that's still a really crazy release. It hasn't even been 5 years, and we've already gotten Damn, which is in its own right a really good album, but it's hard to listen to next to like a To Pimp a Butterfly. And I just can't imagine like what he's gonna come with like in the next 9 months that is really gonna be like I don't know, man. I could really, really wait to hear some new music from him until next year.
I want, like,
and
there's artists that I love with like all my heart, and like that, like, but there's times where I'm just like, hold it, man, just hold it, hone it, craft it, make it better, put it out a year later, and I don't need another Kendrick album right now.
I don't need another Kendrick album.
Yeah,
I really don't need another Kendrick album. Well, what do you think? Do you think Brockhampton's gonna drop an album this year?
If they're smart, they won't.
If they're smart, they won't. I agree.
But no, I don't think they will.
Yeah, I've been kind of going back and forth with this one too because like they've already just released so much music and like that's been their MO, is to just keep putting out music, and they haven't given themselves a lot of time to do so, but they keep coming with the level of quality that they came with, which is why they are cool in the way that they are cool. Right. But
shout out really quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Andrea, you should have just screamed my fucking name. I would have said hi. I ran over to you. I would have loved it.
Yeah, why are you being shy, man?
I was with my whole family.
Trent's,
I would have acted a fool in front of them to say hi to you.
yeah. Trent's on an Instagram live right now with 2 people watching. He's not too famous and stuck up to say what's up to you at the
Nah,
basketball
bro,
game.
approach me.
Come on. We're cooler than that. We haven't forgotten yet, okay? Well, yeah, I think I've gone back and forth. Like, there's parts of the time where I think Brockhampton will drop an album this year, but I think there's a chance that they won't. I think they're kind of like, I think a lot of them are ready to be kind of removed from the limelight for a little bit. If you've noticed, like, none of them have really been on social media, really, at least in the past like couple months, or at least since the last album dropped, even. People have been kind of, they've just been living their own lives, which I'm happy that they're doing. And I would like to see them just take some more time to, like, form as the group that they currently are. Obviously, they took a big chunk out of the group when they did the Hello. More fam, what's up? You know, they they took an important piece out of the group, and it did. Like, I still thought that album was good, but Iridescence, like, again, you feel that hole there without an Amir. So, you know, not to say that it was the worst thing in the world, but, like, it did shake the group up, and, you know, I didn't think that record was better, like, their best record. So, I would like to see them just kind of make music over the year and keep it to themselves for the most part and pop up in a couple places. And I would like to hear them, like, at the very least late this year and, like, maybe really early next year. I just don't want to hear one in the next, like, 3 months, 3, 4, 5 months even. When do you think Frank Ocean's going to drop his new album? Because I could wait.
When was Blonde? That was 2016?
2016.
All right, so that should peg him next year. Should be a fucking album. Something like that.
Someone was just saying in a group chat I'm in that he's dropped on election years the past 2 times, so if he does it again, then it's officially a pattern.
Conspiracy dev. Cat on again.
Hey, man. I mean,
I would anticipate 2020, and I would also appreciate 2020. I don't think he needs to give in to everybody all the time. That's one of the things I love about Frank. It's also one of the things that I kind of hate about him sometimes. It's like, I love Frank Ocean music, and I always want to hear Frank Ocean music, but he's also dropped a shit ton of singles if you look at it since Blonde. I know it's 2 years, but, like...
Yeah, no, he was out there after Blonde for a few months, for sure. And then we even got, like, Chanel later, and we got Moon River after that.
Viking, Provider, Moon... Yeah, we got a bunch of shit. And, no, I mean...
I am actually...
Frank. It's just, like, take your time. Don't give in to people fucking, like, on your ass about music all the time. Make it great, because you always do. Like...
Yeah. I would rather just have a quality album than to have an album now that not only goes for Frank Ocean, but for most people I listen to. I just want the best album because I'm an album listening dude. I'm going to speed this up here just a little bit because we got like 6 minutes left. Do you want to hear some Mac Miller music in 2019? Do you want to hear Mac Miller music?
They put out those Spotify sessions like right after he passed away, and they made me real sad, like real sad. And but yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at posthumous music, but I don't want them to be milking the shit out of it if they do. I would like it more if people who we know Mac respected put out songs that were like previously recorded with them. I would love that, but I don't need like a Mac album. Like I don't need
a Mac album. I would like to hear some music from him, but for right now, it's like, I don't know, especially because he just dropped an album. It's like that album is already like a new album in and of itself for the fact that he died, after making it and putting it out. And for a lot of people, it like really changed their perspective on how the album sounds. It does sound significantly different. And, to me, it even like grew on me a lot after his death, just because of like you know, how much foreshadowing there is in the album. That's pretty crazy to me. So essentially, we did get a posthumous Mac Miller album in the sense that, you know, this album came out before he died. People didn't really look to it as much as they are as they are now.
Right.
And it takes on a completely different meaning at this point. And it's like I'm down to let that shit rock for at least in 2020. I would like to hear more music from him because I know he made so much music.
Oh my god.
And he made music with so much people, and I would imagine that he would like to have that music out there for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want his shit getting milked either. Anything else to say on Mac Miller
R.I.P. Mac Miller.
other than rest in peace? Yeah, rest in peace, man. Fucking Mac. Okay, last on my list. When do you think the next time we're gonna hear a Jay-Z and Beyonce album? A Jay-Z and or Beyonce anything?
I mean, I don't know. If they put
I could
out,
see them going. I could see them going in like what you were saying, like the 4 or 5 year. Like I
Yeah.
could see it being that long.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. And they're both so like they both understand this fucking music industry game so well. Like they don't need to rush
They
anything.
move like politicians.
Yeah, they like it's on them. I mean, like I can't put a date on it because we'll see it. We'll see like Beyonce or Jay-Z, probably both of them be like, it's time for some fucking music. Like they're upfront about it. Like I don't know. We'll see it when it happens. I'm not gonna put a date on it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably
Yeah.
probably 2 to 3 years is what I would say though.
Yeah. Well, who do you think is more likely to put out music first, Jay-Z or Beyonce?
Probably Beyonce. She probably just has more music right now to put out.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, I mean, yeah, again, going into my fucking conspiracies, I think like you went into the Lemonade album with the concept that there would eventually be this like Jay-Z album, also sort of a response deal. I think they had a lot of this already worked out like long before before like we started hearing about it. Again, they really do move like politicians. Like they do kind of because they got money like they got money like politicians.
Yeah, money more than
and yeah, I would imagine they want to spend I would imagine like you went in going with a Beyonce album to a Jay-Z album to a joint album, with that being like, okay, there we probably are gonna wait for another few years after that. I mean, we just gave you, and all of those projects were at least pretty good, I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could definitely see them going like 3, 4 years. I agree. Beyonce probably first. I could see a Beyonce album coming in like 2021, something like that. You see those really big artists, you got to think about like movie date releases, like yo that.
Yeah.
That next Black Panther shit's probably not coming until 2021, dog. Like that shit was big shit.
You also got to think about just like the climate of. I'll say this fast. You got to think about the.
Yeah, you got 1 minute.
The climate of what's going on around them, because you have an election year coming up, and you have two people who are very clearly like voice their opinions about everything they can, which is good because they have good opinions on pretty much everything. Like, a response to like what could happen in the next year is probably what one of or both of those albums will be. Like it'll be a response to the current climate of things. So I mean, depending on how fucked up shit is or how great shit is, that might influence where we get an album too.
Yo, I think they're more interested in who's gonna be in office, who's gonna be, in certain political spaces. I'm telling you, dude, they move like politicians. They got their hands in places we don't know.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, they're doing big shit. That is the list. Recap in 45 seconds before we get off here. There's a lot of albums that we already know are coming. I think there's going to be just a lot of excess from the 2018 craziness. There's a lot of people that are on pace to drop big names. And there are some people out there that could wait and listen to us if, they are listening, and I know they are. Thank you, Trent. Thank y'all for tapping in. Trent, say your deuces.
Deuces.
All right. What should we do for the last 10 seconds of our